Again, strong winds with this. We're not seeing any signs of rotation or anything like that. So that's some good news, and we'll continue.
We'll switch over to GR2.
Okay.
Northern Holmes County warning.
Okay, all right. So let's switch over to the 3D computer if we can. Just take that full real quick. The weather 3D computer. There we go. And this is into portions of Holmes County right now. Yeah, there's portions of Holmes County right now, and you can see those strong winds now coming up on the Lexington area. Again, that's a very good look at the rotation on that, or the wind on that as well. We're not seeing much in the way of rotation on that, but you see the strong winds that are pushing through parts of Holmes County right now. Lexington up towards the west area, that's right along the Big Black River right there, coming up into portions of Montgomery County and into portions of Attala County as well. So right now, those strong winds continue pushing to the north at this time. So this is a new tornado warning. Okay, I was wondering if that box was a tornado warning, but it is. So a new tornado warning now in effect for Attala County and Carroll, Holmes, and Montgomery till 1:45. Okay, so the cell near Lexington has increased a little bit, and so again, we have to watch these because, like we've always said, these are cyclic in nature, these supercell thunderstorms. So let's go back right now to the links we'll go to David right now real quick and just get an update on that. Yeah, that warning ring did pop up on the link system.
Yeah, I was trying to reboot our other computer, so that's why I was trying to get that out to you here. Our other computer has been acting up here through the course of the moment. But yeah, this is that same cell that we were tracking a short time ago that moved across areas just to the west of Yazoo City, and now it's just kind of made an uptick as it headed right into the northern parts of the northern parts of. Yeah, we're going to have to just check on that. Christopher, if you could help me operate this. I want to zoom back down here into the new cell right up here in northern Holmes County. So it's really the strongest winds have already passed the community of Lexington, and it's coming up on west. And you can see the uptick right here on the velocities associated with that cell right now. So that is really some really strong winds that are coming across. Here again, though, it does look like a lot of straight line winds associated with that, but there could be a rotation or developing a tornado in that area. Switch over and show you the severe weather button associated with that as it's moving across the area. And that's that cell. About 70-mile-per-hour winds in Lexington, and that was just a short time ago. And now the stronger winds associated with that have shifted off towards the northeast, headed up towards the Bowling Green and Emory communities, and eventually will be up towards west with time. Put reflectivity back up for you there. There you can see the tornado warning that is in effect right now. And there is all that wind east of Lexington. Boy, that's a real nice push. A little bit of a couplet there to the east of Lexington. And if you're over towards west, that'll be crossing Interstate 55 and Highway 51 here very shortly with time. Reflectivity, you can see the rainfall associated with that, very intense rainfall as it's moving into that area. And it looks like it is developing, some kind of structure. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this cell. Of course, this individual cell itself will be out of our viewing area very shortly. Now, down here is Kosciuszko, and even though parts of Attala County are under a tornado warning, for some counties, they do sound the tornado warnings county-wide if there's a warning anywhere in the county. So if you're in Kosciuszko and there's any kind of tornado sirens going off, that is not for you right now. The tornado warning is for the far northwest corner of Attala County, up towards west, northeastern parts of Holmes County, and then a little bit further to the north. You can see there's Winona right there. Cell be passing just to the south of Winona, up there in the north central parts of Mississippi. So in Kosciuszko, you're going to see some showers, but this intense cell associated with the line of storms is going to pass off to your northwest. At least this cell is. There's going to be additional cells that come in associated with that. Well, just let's widen this view, and you can already see right behind that, this line is making some nice progress across Yazoo County right now. There it is, moving in. I've got the line itself coming through Yazoo City, blinding rain and some gusty winds. Let's zoom right into Yazoo City right now. Take a look at that. Look, boy, look at that downpour associated with that line. And put the velocity field up for you just so you can see where we got the push of wind coming in on the back side of that. So you'll have some gusty winds coming into Benton and Woodlawn community here very shortly. That will be moving pretty quickly off to the east. Let's just zoom right down. Let's follow the line a little bit further to the south. And there you can see more winds coming up into the western parts of Hinds County right now. No sign of rotation associated with that, and that will continue to move off into the rest of Hinds County over time. Put the reflectivity up for you so you can see the rainfall associated with that. We do have that severe thunderstorm warning right now, but with the wind field and the cells itself, they don't look all that impressive with that right now. So at least some good news there that we're not seeing the line that's just to the west of the immediate Jackson metro area get any stronger. Very, very good news. Hopefully that trend does continue. All right, let's follow the line just a little bit further to the south down the river. And you can see from Port Gibson down into Natchez, some scattered downpours, not even really picking up a whole lot of lightning associated with that. And continue to watch the cells develop up here in the southern parts of Mississippi. They're not showing any signs of significant intensification, so this is good news as well. All right, let's go right up into the metro area. Tell you what's going to be happening here over the next hour or two. We got some passing showers and downpours, and we got the line of storms now just to the west, really, of Raymond. Got a downpour coming into Bolton, and then it extends back to Bovina. So, 10 miles wider, so is the line, and that'll continue to progress to the east right into the Jackson area. All right, let's go further to the north. Check on that tornado warning cell that is now in the far northeast corner of Holmes County. It's just going to nick the far northwest corner of Attala County, headed up towards west as we speak right now. And not really seeing much rotation, but certainly still some strong winds. Let's go back, show you the severe weather button, and show you some estimated winds. And it looks like they're generally in the 60 to 70 mile per hour range associated with that cell right now. All right, Adam's watching this storm close. Let's get an update from him. He's been analyzing it as I've been jumping around.
All right, that's right, David. Yeah, continue to watch it. And, the cell kind of came down and then it kind of ticked back up again. The tornado warning was issued for portions of Attala County and up into Holmes County. And right now, the storm is pretty much steady state. We're not seeing much in the way of significant intensification, but we do want to tell you right now, this is about to cross over I-55 up here into portions of Holmes County. So right now, the storm continues pushing to the northeast, and it will be affecting the Vaden area. This is up here into Carroll County, the west area, Hoffman, Durant. I think it's going to go just to your north in Durant. I think it's going to cross over Highway 7, or has crossed over Highway 17. The next major highway it's going to cross over is I-55 up here into portions of Carroll County and into Holmes County. Again, I want to give you a different perspective on this, and we'll take a look at the shear, the rotation. Okay, all right, let's go right now to Storm Shield 16 3D. I think Christopher has something pulled up there, if we can pull that up full screen. And you can see we have a 3D scan of that cell as it continues pushing to the east. And you can see how the storm right now, getting up there, I think that's what, about 25, 30,000 feet, Christopher. So it is pretty high up in the atmosphere. And, we've always said if these storms can get going and they can take advantage of those very strong winds there at cloud level, we would be able to see these storms take off primarily north of 55, north of 20 and to the east of 55. And this is in that general area where we're saying that these storms could get going up towards the Golden Triangle area. That's where the strongest upper level winds are. You see how the storm is moving. These storms are booking it. They're moving to the northeast at around 50 to 55 miles an hour. That's why we say whenever you're under a warning, you need to act now. Don't wait, because these storms are moving very, very quickly to the north right now. So there's a look at the severe weather button right now, and you can see that we have the strong winds now coming to the north of Lexington. We also have near the west and the Vaden area seeing those winds increasing as well. So west, Vaden, and then up here into parts of Carroll County and Montgomery County, we're going to see these winds really ramping up as this storm continues to move to the north and to the east right now. So that's a look at that. If we can pop the 3D computer up here in the quad monitor, I would appreciate that, so we can go ahead and take it. There we go. So Christopher, just kind of drive this for me. Just kind of take some cues. This is the rotation factor of 3D, kind of like the shear button on the Barron system. This is our 3D system, and you can see the highest rotation with this is down here near the west area. Again, Vaden down to the west area. This is right along I-55 and US 51 here. Again, pushing into parts of Carroll County. And we'll have to see if this trend continues, because this may move just to the north of Attala County. Let's zoom out just a little bit, Christopher, and just want to give a regional perspective. Again, put it on the last frame there for me. And I just want to show you kind of who's in and who's out of the warning. Let's go back up here to Attala County. Just kind of want to give a little bit wider view. And you can see Kosciuszko is not in the warning. Kosciuszko is right here. Again, the warning does not include Kosciuszko. This is for the extreme northern part of Attala County. But, you know, it looks like right now, David, analyzing it, looks like the strongest winds are right here near the west area. It may clip extreme northwest Attala County and then move up into parts of Montgomery County. That would be south of Winona. So, again, if you track it out to the northwest like that, west, Vaden, and then moves up here into the Montgomery County area. Here along 82 is a little community called Kilmichael, so it may affect the Kilmichael area if it continues on that track. There's Kilmichael right there. There's Poplar Creek. Again, here's where your wind is. That's where your possible tornado is right now, near the west area. Again, that will cross over 55, all right? There's the velocity on that, and you can see right at the apex right there, that's where we're talking about. The winds gust out of these storms, and then they can start spinning. And so you look for the apex of this little wind signature right here. That is what we're talking about with the possible tornado moving to the north and moving to the east at this time. So again, west, Vaden, up towards the Poplar Creek area, and then over towards Kilmichael. But if you live in Kosciuszko, Ethel, McCool, those areas, expecting this storm to stay well to your north. So no need to take action right now, but there's a look at it. And these are booking 55 to 60 miles an hour, so this may be out of Holmes County here within a matter of minutes. David?
Yeah, so really moving up in there towards southern parts of Montgomery and Carroll County right now. And as we've been telling you, if you're down in Kosciuszko, this cell is going to pass off to your south. All right, we switched over here. So I'm using the hand tracker on links 2. So just so you know there, you can use links 1 right now.
Gotcha.
Just seeing the hand tracker wasn't cooperating.
Bugs in the system.
You know that does happen every once in a while. The technology, we love it. It's always helpful, but sometimes you get a little reliant on it. All right, yeah, as we've been talking about now, we do have this area right there. Boy, I tell you, that's some really heavy rain coming into Vaden now onto Highway 51. And really, it looks like there's, as that Adam was pointing out, maybe just a little bit of a circulation kind of in that area just to the west of west, and that's moving pretty quickly off to the northeast. And we look at the severe weather button right now. We're not really picking up some strong wind right now, and as far as the shear goes, very, very weak on the rotation side. So primarily looks like a lot of wind in that area. Certainly could have a tornado in that area, but primarily I think we've been looking at, well, at least with that cell up in that area, has been a lot of strong straight line winds, and right in that area we're not picking up a whole lot of what we would call non-weather related debris or anything in the sky. So that's also some very good news. But there's certainly some very torrential rain in this area, moving off quickly. Everything's been moving at about anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour. So very, very quick. And then you move a little bit further to the south on that line. Let me get a little bit wider. So, you know, so many times here we've seen long lines of activity. You can see how the activity builds down right across Yazoo County. Yazoo City just had a very heavy downpour. A very heavy downpour moved through Vicksburg a short time ago. That has moved through. And now we have some very heavy rain, blinding rain, just to the northwest of the city up towards Flora. Right there, boy, I tell you, that's that visibility when we were showing you the Vicksburg sky cam, where you really couldn't see very far. And then as you continue further off to the south, the line does continue, but it's not quite as strong as the northern end. And that's really not surprising, because as we've been talking about the evolution of this storm system coming into our area, the threat for the stronger storms was primarily north of Interstate 20 and to the east of Interstate 55. And it really looks, as we're watching this develop and evolve, it's coming together more or less as we expected. A lot of the low-level wind energy is beginning to move across northeast Mississippi, and just a part of that jet stream is favorable for thunderstorm development right pretty much in the area where we're seeing that activity in the northern parts of the viewing area, getting ready to skirt across southern parts of Carroll, Montgomery, far northwestern parts of Atala County. Again, Kosciuszko, this cell passing off to your west. Still watching cells develop off to the south, not seeing any development there. Further off to the west, out ahead of the cold front, we're not seeing any further development. So it continues to look like the main threat of weather through the course of the afternoon is going to be in association with the line that is currently moving across the area. And here is the metro area right now. Let me just start from the southern parts of the metro area. You can see we got some downpours down towards Crystal Springs, Brookhaven. These cells trying to develop, but they're not having success intensifying, which in a severe weather situation is a good thing. Further off to the west, got some showers coming into Raymond. Now notice the back edge, we're not seeing intensification of the line. Certainly some gusty winds and some downpours associated with that, but the lightning, you know, Adam, just has not been impressive with these cells. Again, we're not seeing the vigorous lift as it moves through, which is good news. Now, further to the north. Now, here's the blinding rains coming into the western parts of the metro area right now, especially up there in Madison County, out towards Flora, Highway 49, just to the north and northwest of Clinton there. This is very heavy rain, and this is looking like the rain's beginning to pick up here. Let's look at the velocity, see if we got any. Yeah, it looks like some wind trying to develop just to the west of Bentonia with that line. So I think we're seeing this thunderstorm area kind of develop. I wouldn't be surprised if there might be a severe thunderstorm warning issued to the east of this part for parts of Madison County as this does continue to develop now with that thunderstorm cell. So we'll keep an eye on that. But looking at the velocity right now, just like a lot of the storms today, it looks linear in a line and not much rotation. So we'll watch for that to develop across Bentonia and see if that trend continues. And notice on the time lapse, you do see some lightning strikes in this area. So again, this could be an indication that that cell in that area is trying to develop. Let's check on the rotation in that part of the cell. And there just isn't a lot. Very, very weak. So that is good news with that as well. Again, though, the trend now with all this activity to the west of the immediate downtown area, the trend will be for the activity to try to build into the city. Right now, it looks like a lot of the heavier rain and stronger storms are going to be to the north of the immediate downtown, but we'll be keeping a close eye on that as that does continue to develop. All right, let's go further to the north now and see what the progress of this cell is. Let me zoom right into here. And of course, we're kind of right up in the area where all these counties come together: Montgomery, Clay, Holmes, and Atala County. Let me zoom right into that area. Stop the motion, do a little bit of storm analysis as we're right in that area. So yeah, it looks like now coming into the east of, to the east of west, north of Hesterville, that's where some of those strong winds are coming. We've got a little bit of a couplet, a little bit further to the north now. That's in the southern parts of Montgomery and headed over towards Clay County. So there is the tornado warning that we have right now associated with that cell crossing the area. All right, Adam, you've been analyzing stuff. You got something for us on 3D. Tell us what's up.
Watching this thing down near Ebenezer, that's something that we're going to be watching very carefully as well. Again, this is within a severe thunderstorm warning, but I just want to let you know down here near Ebenezer, there is some pretty strong wind, kind of an interesting couplet developing or trying to form right here between Ebenezer and Midway. This is down here into portions of Holmes County as well. So like David said, stuff may be trying to back build just a little bit. You can see that right there on that cell. And it's looking like there's trying to attain a pretty good structure now. So this is within a severe thunderstorm warning. So we'll have to see if it is upgraded, because it is beginning to look a little bit better organized there on the radar. Back up to the north now, if we can just kind of zoom out a little bit. Perfect right there, Christopher. If we can just take you back up here to portions of Carroll County. Again, you see some strong winds near the Vaden and the Beatty area. Again, that's moving to the northeast. So that's going to be affecting parts of Montgomery County here within the next, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes or so there into parts of Montgomery County, just south of Winona. Again, Winona is not technically in this tornado warning. It is Kilmichael and Poplar Creek. And then, of course, the warning goes back down into parts of extreme northern Holmes County and near the Carmack area. That's the biggest town here in the extreme northwest Atala County. This is Highway 35, by the way, that goes up from Kosciuszko to Vaden. So Carmack sits right about here in northwest Atala County. There's the velocity. You can see the linear motion David was talking about. That looks like a line, and so that would be strong gusty winds moving through that area. But down here near Ebenezer, that's the one that, let's zoom down in there, Christopher, and let's just kind of put the reflectivity on that and just kind of do a little bit of storm analysis right here on the fly, kind of zoom out just a little bit, give us kind of a, there we go, right there. So you can see the shape is trying to take on that hook shape, and see there's your rotation right there near the Ebenezer area. So it's technically not in a tornado warning, but it is within a severe thunderstorm warning, and this is in the parts of Holmes County. So Lexington heads up. Looks like if this were to stay northeast, it would go just to the south of you folks in Lexington, but right now in Lexington, you're getting some pretty bad weather. You're getting some heavy rainfall, probably some thunder and lightning over there as well. But again, this cell down here near Ebenezer, that's what we're watching right now for the evidence. If it can wrap up anymore, maybe a tornado warning issue for that. Don't have it yet, but we're watching it, watching the trends on that as well. And you can see the other storm way up here into parts of this is Carroll County. So from west to Beatty, that storm moving up into parts of Montgomery County. So you have those two storms that we're watching right now, the two storms of question that we're watching right now. And you see another little line of showers and heavy downpours now stretching from near the Goodman area, Salis, to near the Kosciuszko area. David.
You know, you may hear Adam and I just repeat these county names a lot, and we do that, you know, I was just watching Adam over there, and he had to think for a second what county he was in. You know, we understand a lot of people don't recognize what their counties look like, and then further, you add the data on there. That's why I saw you there. Oh, is that Southern Clay or Montgomery County? You know, you have to kind of take a look, and you know, we do it for a job, so you know, we know what the counties are. But if we have to pause, we certainly know you have issues that you can't necessarily always look at the map and say, oh yeah, that's my county, that's Yazoo County. So that's why we say the counties so much. All right, this is the wide view just to give you, what's going on. If you're anywhere in the viewing area and we have coverage and you're expecting to see something else, we're in the process through the afternoon of seeing some rough weather. We have a tornado watch in effect until 6. It'll get canceled earlier than that for our western counties, and we'll probably see an extension a little bit later into the evening for the tornado watch. But I think by 5 or 6 o'clock, a lot of this bad weather will be out of the Channel 16 viewing area. We have a cold front off to the west, and the cold front itself is still to the west of Monroe, and that's why you still see some cells developing off to the west. But right here is where the action is, maybe about 50 to 75 miles out ahead of the cold front. This is where the concentration of weather elements have come together for a line to form, and it'll be coming here into the Jackson area in the next hour or two, and we'll watch for intensification, but right now it doesn't look too bad for the Jackson area. That's right now. Things could change here over the next 30 minutes as we kind of nurse the line off to the east. By far, the stronger cells have been off to the northwest of the city, and now as everything is shifting to the east, the strongest activity is going to be north and to the northeast of the Jackson area. Really looks like areas up towards the Golden Triangle, northeast Mississippi, as we head into the mid to late afternoon hours, have a better chance of some of the more severe type storms. Now that said, we're still watching for the development of cells. We got temperatures between 75 and 80 degrees, and these cells that are coming up out of Louisiana and building into Mississippi certainly do have the potential to intensify and get stronger over the next couple of hours. And as these develop and the line moves further to the east, those cells will be tracking across the eastern parts of the viewing area and areas to the east of the Jackson area. So we're coming up on about 1:30, and it looks like this line will be coming into the immediate city by around 2, and perhaps be in the far eastern parts of the metro area by 3 o'clock this afternoon. And the threats for this line as it does come into the Jackson metro area is heavy downpours, and we are looking at least for the threat of an isolated severe storm. So here's a great look at the metro area. You can see we had some downpours moving across parts of Rankin County right now, and then further to the west, say on the west side of Interstate 55, very heavy rain has come out of Yazoo County. No warnings up there right now. There's still a severe thunderstorm warning for the northwest part of Hinds County for that line. And we're just watching for some additional development of storms into parts of Madison County for a possibility of a severe thunderstorm warning there. So we're not ruling that out as that cell does develop. And then further to the south, we have some heavy downpours in parts of Copiah County to the west of Crystal Springs and Hazelhurst that are not severe, but will be building up to the northeast and could get a little bit stronger. So there is a lot going on right now. And here is the far northern part of that activity, which we have been watching, which, about an hour ago, there was a tornado warning on it to the west of Yazoo City, and then the cell weakened as it got between Chula and Lexington, and then it quickly re-intensified. So you can see the tornado warning box went away, and then it quickly came back as the cell intensified. So that cell is really moving now up into the southern part. Well, it's just nicking parts of Montgomery and the southern parts of Clay County up there, headed up towards Eupora and Ackerman, and also across northwestern parts of Atala County. Some nasty weather up there. Now, they're still seeing some storms develop here to the southwest of Kosciuszko, and keep an eye on that storm development. I'm going to get a little bit closer in here, because this is the part now when we get to the eastern part, say anything east of I-55, we just kind of look for anything that is going to develop a little bit of rotation on it. So that's what we're checking on. Now, there's certainly some wind developing in there, but no significant rotation. But this is an area that we're watching currently in the southwest parts of Attala County, and this would be headed up towards Kosciuszko and the Dodge community here over the next 30 to 45 minutes. So we'll keep an eye on that. No warning associated with that cell right now. That would move off to the northeast. Let me just check the severe weather button. Yeah, we're still seeing some wind back in there, but doesn't look like it is too bad. So good news there associated with that, and that is the one tornado warning right now. Let me set this back into motion and really continue to see the activity make the rapid northeast movement, and then at the same time the line itself is moving off to the east. There's some pretty heavy rain in here, so these spots could certainly pick up a quick inch of rain as they move through, but it's certainly not going to be drought-busting rain, because a lot of this rain, like watch the cells here across Holmes County, how quickly they move through. And then from Yazoo City, the storms move very through. Here's a little interesting feature that I'm seeing develop here that I want to take a look at. It looks like certainly here by the radar, you can see a push of rain right there. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at that and see if we can see any wind associated with that. Yeah, there is a little bit of a wind there. Now, that's not rotation, but we are seeing a push of wind associated with that cell. So that's certainly a very interesting feature that has developed right there along with the rain moving in. Let me put that into motion. Oh, yeah, and a lot of these storms showing some really decent wind. We have the strong wind gusts ahead of the main line. And then in this line that's coming into the area, we're seeing a really significant push of heavy downpours and associated wind gusts associated with that. So Madison County right now, you'll see this heavy rain, which is in the western part of the county, spread across Ridgeland, Gluckstadt, up towards Canton, hit the north part of the reservoir, move over towards Camden and the eastern parts of Madison County. This is what you should expect, and you can certainly see an uptick in the rain here. So the rain is picking up, and we showed there on the wind field, we're getting some wind. Notice how we have the winds there, and then watch right in there, that's that push of wind that we're seeing. So there could be some strong winds currently developing just to the west of Gluckstadt and Canton, and there are some lightning bolts associated with that. Could see something develop right in that area as well. So right now, across the viewing area, give you another wide view. The severe thunderstorm warning canceled or it has expired for the Jackson metro area. We do have that one cell a little bit further off to the north here, moving across the extreme southern parts of Montgomery, Clay County, and the northwest parts. And this is that cell that Adam was talking about a short time ago that formed outside of the tornado warning box. And look here, it's coming right up on Durant. Could be a possible tornado spinning up in there. We may see a new tornado warning issued for that cell right in there. That's what Adam was talked about. We had the tornado warning, and watch it again on the development here. You'll see it develop here, and then it has moved into the tornado warning box. So Durant could have a tornado in your area right now, so right along Interstate 55. Now that's moving quickly, so it's probably getting ready to cross Interstate 55 and then move right across U.S. Highway 51. Let me get a little bit closer here, because that has really kicked up, and that's our strongest signature that we've seen. Again, now, remember, it takes about 2 minutes for the sweep to go around, and this is moving at 55 or 60 miles per hour. So here's Mississippi Highway 12, Interstate 55, 51. This is headed over towards the Hoffman community right now. So a little bit of a couplet there. Could be a tornado associated with that cell right now. We are in the north parts of the viewing area. This is moving from, the activity's moving from Holmes into the northwest parts of Atala County right now. Let's get that up. Yeah, see here we're seeing winds of about 70 miles per hour associated with that. And there's some shear. While it is showing on the weak side, it is concentrated right there. Heads up, the Durant community definitely could be seeing a tornado developing in association with that cell right there. We do have a couplet. This is Durant. McMillan community, this is Highway 12, Mississippi Highway 12, which goes from east to west. And so that'll move right across the Durant community and then head up towards Hoffman. So very, very nasty cell currently making its way right across the Durant community, far northwest parts of Atala County and up towards Durant. Now here is a updated on the sweep. Still a little bit of a couplet there. Certainly the possibility of a weak tornado in that part of the county near Durant. Boy, I'll tell you, that really just spun up in a quick period of time. So it's come, here's Lexington, Durant. So we're coming out of Holmes County over towards the northwest parts of Atala County right now. A little bit of rotation associated with that cell right in there. And there's a little indentation now just to the east of Interstate 55. Pretty good, check the CC there. You know, pretty nice little bit of a couplet there. Not really seeing anything being picked up as far as debris right now, but we'll keep an eye on that cell very, very closely as it does develop. But right now, not seeing any kind of development. But it's, you know, if you're in Durant, this cell is passing right over you and coming off to the northeast fairly quickly. I think I'm starting to hear some rain outside the TV station right now. But it's, you know, right in here where we're seeing this couplet and headed from the northwest side of Durant up towards Hoffman. And this will all occur over the next 10 minutes right in that part of the cell. Definite little bit of a couplet there, rotation, so there could be a tornado associated with that cell right there. All right, let's get another quick update with Adam. He, you know, when one of us is not on, we're busy doing something behind the scenes, and it's really tough a lot of times, you know, to pick out some of the subtle features. We try to be, you know, picking them out while we're on the air, but, you know, these fast-moving storms, they come up quick, Adam.
That's right, yeah, David. Right now we're on the Storm Shield 16 3D, and you can see the line of storms right now. Now, the one that we are concerned about right now is near the Durant area. Let's switch over to the velocity there, Christopher, and we see the little signature there near the Durant area. So this is right along Interstate 55. This is Highway 12 right here. So you go, Highway 12 goes from Kosciuszko all the way to Durant, and then you have this road right here. This is I-55 that runs basically through Holmes County, comes through Durant, and down to the Goodman area. So that's where we are. Get your bearings straight here. So this is Holmes County. This is Atala County. This is the Big Black River right here. So that's what we're looking at. And this little circulation is moving to the north and to the east like that. So the next community would be the west area. We'll see if it can slide just south of west. But if you live in west, you may want to go back into your sturdy structure there as this nasty storm gets ready to pass over your area as well. Let's go further south, Christopher, down into parts of Madison County, and watching these storms now coming up on the Canton area. We'll put on the velocity and kind of check it out, see what we're seeing, and we see some wind, so some gusty wind in that area. No warnings in effect for Madison County, but we're watching it very carefully. Again, this is Canton, this is Madison down to the Ridgeland area. Again, right now we're off Highway 22, so this is Flora over here. Highway 22 goes all the way to Canton, so right now we're probably where Highway 463 is, near the Mansdale area, seeing some of those stronger winds in that area as well. But again, Canton down to the Madison Ridgeland area, seeing some gusty winds as well. All right, let's zoom back out and put the reflectivity back on, and just want to do a wide, area-wide view of the region, and we'll put it into motion. And I kind of want to talk about this here for a minute. So you see these lines of storms trying to form out ahead of the cold front. This is the cold front right here coming through Monroe. You see a line of storms trying to form right here into Louisiana. Again, all of this activity is taking away from this line back here. So this would be the line that we still think is of concern over the next few hours. But notice right here, we're trying to see these cells forming out ahead of this little line right here, coming into parts. You see a little cell right there into Simpson County. You see a little cell down here coming up into Pike County. This right here, as it moves to the east, over towards Meridian, over towards Decatur, Philadelphia, DeKalb, this activity could grow and turn severe. And again, this is the area that we have been saying north of I-20, east of I-55 is where the greatest wind shear is. And this little wind energy is now pushing through those areas and helping to kind of get this kick started. So we're going to watch this very carefully. Again, no warnings on this right now, but something that we're going to be keeping an eye on. And again, keeping an eye on this line, David, as it is now moving into the I-55 corridor, Jackson metro area.
Yeah. This Madison County area, and here's what it looks like outside the station. We have some heavy rain coming into the west side of town, Channel 16 studios. This is our Skycam out on our tower. You can see the big raindrops out there, so we're getting a heavy downpour. All right, let's go back to the radar. And in the immediate Jackson metro area, there is the threat, I think, of a severe thunderstorm warning being issued with this activity currently developing from Reunion to Lake Caroline and then back to the west of Canton.
We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for that area, Madison County.
All right, so we'll see the polygon come up in that area very shortly. You know, we've been talking about this area. Oh, there it is. For the last 10, 15 minutes, we were seeing some wind develop in this area. So from Reunion to Lake Caroline to Canton, Cobbville, and to the east, this cell is going to be moving that way. Let me just get a little bit wider, position this so I can do a time lapse so you can see where it is moving. You can really see the uptick in the activity in the line across the western parts of Madison County. A big downpour out towards Florida should be letting up very shortly. But as this line develops now, and here again, this line is looking linear in a line. When we see storms develop that are severe, we look for kinks, we look for bulges. These are areas that tornadoes can form on. Now, this is in the formative process, and right now it's just straight line wind. That's not to say in 5 or 10 minutes some kind of circulation will develop in there. So we'll be watching that very, very closely as it develops into the Jackson, or at least the northern parts of the metro area. And by the way, that other cell that we have been tracking, it has moved out of our area, but for the wind, severe thunderstorm warning is extended further off to the northeast of that. And we do have up Webster County, areas like that now. That storm is headed up that way. So we'll watch this cell. I think the northern parts of the metro area right now at risk of some stronger storms. Look off to the south, the southern parts. There are some downpours down towards Byram and Terry, but at least for right now, not showing any promise of severity. Do see a bit of a line. Let's check the velocity on that to the west of Crystal Springs and Hazelhurst, and let me stop that. And, well, there could be some wind trying to come up there, so that'll be another area just to keep an eye on. But we're kind of getting to the point here of where this activity is developing, that most of it's going to be to the east of the Jackson metro area. Now, it still can't necessarily rule out a storm here off to the west out ahead of the cold front, and there is some thunder and lightning associated with that. We'll keep monitoring that, but it certainly looks like this line that is moving right through the heart of the metro area probably zap a lot of the energy associated with the whole weather system coming through the area. So in the immediate Channel 16 viewing area, the storm of concern and the only warning we have right now is for the northern parts of Madison County, and that's going to develop from Reunion, move across Gluckstadt, Canton, and then out towards Camden in the eastern parts of Madison County. So get a little bit closer. You can see that currently developing right in that area of Madison County. Let me just stop that again, get the velocity feature back up there. for you. And we'll even get a little bit closer because those winds really do seem to have picked up very close to Canton. Here again, we're looking at straight line winds. I'll get even a little bit closer for you so you can see right near the Nissan Parkway, Nissan plant, some pretty strong winds right there. Again, these storms that we're seeing really not hail producers, so we're not really concerned about hail today. It's been primarily just these strong wind gusts out ahead of the line of storms. And there you can see our couplet. It is in the formative stages, and right now it is linear, but this is something to keep an eye on here as we're covering these severe storms. This could develop into some kind of circulation as it does develop here over the next few minutes. And if that would be the case, that would be out towards Sharon, Camden, areas to the northeast of Canton. So winds right now, severe thunderstorm warning for this cell, which is just to the north of Germantown High School and up towards the Nissan plant coming into Canton. Very strong winds associated with that, and it is a cell that is currently developing right now. Let me just stop this right now, and there you is. See, we're picking up winds in the 50 to 70 mile per hour range, so that is a nasty cell coming up on Canton right now.
So ask them to pull up links 1 and see a video of Canton right now.
All right, if you go ahead and pull up links 1, and we do have a MDOT cam up there, if you would please, in the control room. And there it is. That's Interstate 55. This is right by Mississippi Highway 22. So we're coming right into Canton, and it is really raining pretty heavily down there right now.
Down there too as well,
All right,
David.
and we're seeing that certainly develop. So let's go back over to radar, and we'll take another look. Again, this area coming up on Canton, and we're at a really interesting time in the afternoon where a lot of schools are getting ready to release, and now we're seeing the winds got a little bit of yellow coming up here. So those are winds between 75 and coming up on 100 mile per hour. So we have a cell here, and I would not be surprised if this rotation, it looks like a little bit of a wrap up here. We could be seeing a tornado warning issued for central parts of Madison County. So that certainly does look like it will be a possibility. So heads up now for Madison County, a possibility of an upgrade to part of that storm to a tornado warning, and then that would include areas around Canton up towards Sharon, and then further up into the northeastern parts of Madison County, and then, kind of basically just if you're on the north side of the Natchez Trace, there would be a little bit of concern for that to track right up that way. And it does look like that storm is on the uptick, so we'll monitor that situation through the next few minutes and see if we do get an upgrade to a tornado warning here. We are going to see a tornado warning issued from here, and so this will be from Canton off to the northeast. Got a tornado warning coming with that cell that we see developing, and it's always very fascinating when you see these storms just develop as you're covering them on air. But it's wrapping up pretty good here, it looks like. Let me just stop this, and it looks like let me get closer here because I'll tell you, this is really showing some significant intensification. And what I'm seeing here is kind of a little bit of a wrap up right into there, right into that area, maybe a little bit of an inflow notch trying to develop there. Let's see how that matches up with the velocity field. Sure does. Here's your rotation. The rotation is broad right now, meaning it's over a distance, but it certainly looks like it may try to tighten here. So from Canton now, off to the northeast, got a developing situation for, possibly a tornado in this area that's really come up pretty quickly here over the last, 5-10 minutes. We've seen this cell come up very, very quickly. Go back to the severe weather button here, and again, this data does lag a little bit because it has to process a lot of data, and I think you could probably move this a little bit further to the northeast, but we're picking up 75 to 100 mile per hour winds, and it really looks like it's moving smack dab over Canton right now, and then that'll continue right. Here's Highway 16. and then you have up towards Sharon there. So all this happening and developing right now. The tornado warning is in effect for Madison County, and this will be for areas from Canton off to the northeast. This cell developing very, very quickly. And here you can see now it is on the east, northeast side of Canton. It has passed over the downtown area. Circulation still very, very broad associated with that cell, but looks like the rotation is going to be north of Highway 16. So north of Highway 16, headed up towards Sharon. That's where this rotation is occurring right now. Let me just draw this feature right in here. This is where it looks like the rotation is the strongest. Go back over to shear right now. Oh yeah, we see that really coming up now. Do a little bit of a time lapse and watch just how quickly this does develop and come up with time. You know, just like that, over 2 radar scans, and the cell itself is moving at, what do we say, 55 to 60 miles per hour. So the cells are moving very fast as they develop. So quick heads up towards Sharon, Havendale communities. That's Highway 43, so you got 16 and then 43. Looks like the rotation pretty much going to try to follow and be just to the north of Highway 43 up towards Sharon and Havendale. Boy, I'll tell you, that has really come up in a fast period of time. And let me just get rid of my writing on there. And up to the north of that center, very, very heavy rain associated with this cell. Get a little bit wider, give you the big view of this cell. And that's the cell currently developing just to the east of Canton. Might be a situation, too, where the storm itself is... at least the concentration of rotation is hidden in rain, so it may not be where you would see a funnel and associated with that cell, but that has really come up quickly. Now we'll see if it can hold on to that rotation, because a lot of these cells, as they've been developing up to the north of the Jackson area, once they do develop the rotation, they seem to gust out and produce some gusty or a strong wind, so we'll watch for that. But certainly you need to take this storm seriously in the northeastern parts of Madison County. And right here, this is Canton High School, right here on the east side of town. And you certainly look like you have wind close to Canton High School and just to the north. So Cobbville community, Highway 43 up towards Sharon, and eventually makes its way up toward Havendale there. That's where, and it's moving very quickly, so it'll only take a couple minutes for it to get up into that part of Madison County, moving very, very quickly with time. So we watch that come up. That's that little cell that we saw form outside of that line. Saw the gusty straight line winds formed, and then it developed a little bit of rotation on it. All right, let's just quickly zoom out and just check the rest of the metro area. We'll go over to Adam here in a second for an update on the Madison storm. He's been examining it pretty quickly. Here you can see further to the south. In fact, can we put up our County Line Road sky cam briefly? It looks like we got a pretty heavy downpour. Well, actually, it looks like it may have shifted to the east of the immediate I-55 Canton Road, County Line Road area. So it's raining pretty hard there, but it looks like the heaviest rain has shifted off to the east. But if you look closely, you can certainly see the trees are still swaying, and the rain is, you know, sideways there. All right, let's go back to the radar, just take you through the metro area just quickly so everybody knows what's going on. Then we'll throw it back up to Adam for an update there for Madison County. We do have some downpours moving through downtown. How about Capitol Tower sky cam briefly? And I think that'll just show some heavy rain. There it is. And notice we're looking off to the north, and you see some brightness, some shimmer on the buildings. That's because you're probably seeing a little bit of clearing to the west on the back side of that downpour moving through downtown. All right, back over to the radar, and then from downtown further to the south, very heavy rain has moved through Byram, Terry. This is a non-severe type storm. Let me just put up the velocity quickly. I'm not really seeing any threat of strong winds or it being upgraded to a severe storm right now, but we'll keep an eye on that. Here's a little cell to the west of Mendenhall, has a little bit of kinkiness to it. I'll keep an eye on that while we throw it over to Adam.
All right, thank
David, yeah, we're over here on the Lynx 1 system and just have a track for you. Just want to give you some times of arrival. Again, the rotation is down here near the Sharon area. Again, this is Highway 43 and Highway 16, so it's basically going right up the chute here towards the Sharon area. It's right on Sharon right now, Havendale, the Revive area, Raytown, and then up here into Leake County. This is coming up on the St. Anne area, Conway, Bollatusha area. So again, these are the areas that you're seeing with that right now. Let's turn the reflectivity back on and just kind of want to show you again, this is the area of concern down here near the Sharon area. Again, that's moving to the northeast like that, moving towards the Revive, the Camden area, Havendale, and the Forest Grove area. Let's turn on the shear if we can, Christopher. We'll turn on the shear rate and just want to show you what we're watching. This little feature right here coming through Canton, again, coming up on the Sharon area right now. Again, this is following Highway 43. So the tornado warning does not include Ridgeland, does not include Madison, does not include areas to the south and west towards Lake Cavalier or the Flora area. So I know in the county, the sirens do sound countywide. Again, if you live in Madison, if you live in Ridgeland, if you live in Flora, this is not a warning that concerns you. Again, we're backing out and showing the whole county. So right now, there's Flora, there's Ridgeland and Madison. This is well to the north of Madison. This is well to the north of Gluckstadt. This is up here going up Highway 43 and Highway 16 toward the Sharon area. Again, there's the Nissan plant for reference. So this thing is well to the north of that, just to the northwest or northeast of downtown. So this is moving to the northeast like that as well. So again, the next big communities in the path are going to be Loring, the Camden area, Revive, Havendale, and then moving up into parts of Leake County as well. Again, the school out here, Velma Jackson's out here in the rural part of Madison County, kind of for reference of where we are going. So this is moving to the northeast like that, and then it will cross over into Leake County, and we'll be going just to the north of Carthage. So if you live in Carthage right now, you are not in this tornado warning. This is to the north of Carthage. This is over here towards the Conway, the St. Anne area, and really clipping the border of Attala County as well. So this storm right now is moving to the northeast, moving very quickly, 50 to 55 miles an hour. So you don't have a lot of time to react. You need to be in your shelter because these storms are moving very, very quickly. All right, let's zoom back down into that circulation there, Christopher, near the Sharon area, and let's put it back on right now. Examining it between the Havendale and the Sharon area. Again, this is Highway 43 that goes out from Canton over into the Havendale and the Revive area. Again, this is past Canton High School. This is past Canton Academy. This is past the Cobbville area. This is out here between Havendale and Sharon, right off of Highway 43, rural area of Madison County. Again, this is Highway 16. So it looks like the circulation is trying to stay north of Highway 16. Again, you follow Highway 16 goes all the way over to Carthage. So right now looks like this is basically trying to hug Highway 43 there. And of course, this road right here is the Natchez Trace Parkway. So we're north of the Natchez Trace, we're north of Highway 16, and you can see the warning box has now been trimmed. So Canton, we can give you the all clear. The warning box has been trimmed for Canton. So if you've been in your shelter in Canton, you can now come out now because the storm is now moving away from Canton, but now Loring, Cameron, Camden, the Havendale area, and then over into portions of Leake County. Again, Shockoe and Farmhaven, I think this goes just to your north, but again, that box is drawn for error. So you're right on the edge of the box there in Farmhaven and Shockoe, and there's Christopher drawing where the circulation is and going to the northeast like that. So I think in the next 5 or 10 minutes or so, maybe 15 minutes, this will cross out of Madison County over into Leake County. So this would be a Leake County storm. And then looking upstream from this would be moving up into parts of Attala County. So no warning in effect for Attala County right now, but watching this storm very carefully because if it can hold together, and again, like we said, this would be the best area to see any storms rotate. East of 55 and north of 20, this would be the area to see any storms try to become nasty. So looking upstream, Kosciuszko, the Ethel area, McCool, these areas want to pay attention to this because it could be moving into your area within the next 30 to 45 minutes or so. David.
Yeah, we're watching all these storms, and boy, I tell you, that's some pretty heavy rain up there in parts of Madison County, especially out towards Camden now. Brunt of the storm is, look how fast it has shifted to the east of Canton right now. Let me put the velocity up here, and we still have that couplet moving pretty close to Highway 43, so it's already moved all the way up to Havendale. That is how fast that cell is moving, and I'll put it in motion. You can see just the evolution of that. Watch it right there, and it just zips right up from Canton all the way up into the Havendale community. Rapid movement on there. And I was noticing while I was behind the scenes there and Adam was on, the 100-mile-per-hour winds were not as high, and the winds have really come down significantly with this. So this cell is not as strong, and I don't think the rotation is as strong as it was. This is, let me just circle the area. This is the area where we're seeing that rotation right in there right now. And it's just not looking like it had that curved feature like it did a short time ago. So that's good news there. Looks like that storm is not as strong as far as the threat of a tornado. Very good news there. Looks like it's on the downturn. And all the cells we've been watching today since around lunchtime have pretty much done the same thing to the north. They've showed a little bit of rotation, and then they just seem to gust out. But there's certainly very, very heavy rainfall moving across parts of Madison County and even further to the south. Even though these storms are not severe in the immediate Jackson area, the city right in here, this is a big downpour moving across parts of the city, so on the interstates really probably slow traffic down. Non-severe. So this cell that's currently moving across Richland and South Jackson is headed up over into Rankin County now. So Flowood, Brandon, Crossgates, and then up towards Castlewood's about to see a pretty decent downpour. Let's throw up our reservoir sky cam. We have that downpour on the Madison County side of the reservoir, and when we look off to the west, there you can see the heavy rain that is crossing. There's the spillway right there, and you can see the very heavy rainfall. And, of course, the gusty winds do continue in association with that line. But they're not severe right now, so that is good news. All right, let's go back over to the radar maps right here and tracking these downpours through the Jackson area. And quite honestly, looking at the radar, there's nothing even close to becoming severe in the immediate city area. It's heavy downpours and there's gusty winds in the area. Yes, we do have the one cell racing across northeastern parts of Madison County right now, but really have to cover everything even further to the south. There's a pretty nice little downpour getting ready to move into southwest parts of Rankin County. That might be a cell to keep an eye on. We'll watch the development of that here over time. Let's take a look and see if there's much rotation in that part of the storm right now. No, there's not a whole lot of rotation, but that's certainly a cell now to the east side to keep an eye on. And then we go further down the line. The storms are really just downpours, little thunder and lightning further off to the south down towards Brookhaven and Macomb. Then you go back over here. Let me get a little bit wider because as always, we have such a large area of storms. There are some thunderstorms that are developing here in Louisiana. Bolivar County, tornado watch canceled, and for the southeast parts of Arkansas into northeast Louisiana, those parishes cleared from the tornado watch right now. Another tornado watch has been issued for the eastern parts of the state, and that'll go into the early evening. But we're making some pretty steady eastward progress of the storms that are moving across the viewing area right now. And pretty much as expected, they're not as strong to the south, and they're a little bit stronger off to the north. All right, let's get back up here into the northeast parts of Madison County. That storm will eventually be making its way over into Leake County. Here's Carthage, and you'll probably get into some heavy rain before too much longer. Watch as these cells develop here. You notice they do have a little bit of curvature to them, so there's certainly some effort for the cells to try to rotate. It just looks like they're not able to continue that growth. They kind of reach a certain point, and then the storms or the cells can't sustain themselves. So that is really in part, as we've been saying the last couple of days, while there could be an isolated storm or two that could become severe, a lot of the elements weren't together, and I think that's why we're seeing a lot of these storms struggle to develop, which is a good thing, by the way, as they move across the area. All right, tornado warning is for northeastern parts of Madison County over into Leake County. Let's put the velocity back up here. And that couplet, concentrated couplet, not there really as it was. And notice here how the, let me just stop that so I can, you're really seeing that cell gust out. Here's the reflectivity. And then watch the velocity right in here, and I'll draw this. And it's right along this line where you're getting a strong push of wind. So now I'll put the reflectivity back up. So right in that area, just heavy rain and a strong push of winds, which will have a tendency to push that a little bit as it's moving to the northeast, give it a push to the northeast. Possible we'll see this tornado warning canceled. We'll see. But that's certainly a possibility. The winds have come down. They're not as strong. And the shear remains very weak and elongated. So when you have a cell that did look like it might be producing a tornado, you want to wait and make sure it continues on the downward trend before you would cancel it. But this is certainly not a good location for a tornado to form in that cell. You guys, here you got a push of air coming in there, drier air, and that's the winds accelerating down on the back side of the storm. So really not in a favorable spot. Really, when you try to look at things, you would look at these cells off to the east, which may have a little bit better chance trying to develop, but the problem with those are there's other rain to the south of them, so they don't have free wind moving into them, so the flow is disrupted and they can't organize. Therefore, they continue to struggle. I will go over to Adam for another update here in a second, but let me just give you a wide view just quickly what we have going on right now. We have a line of thunderstorms. Some of them have been severe. We've had a couple tornado warnings. It's moving right smack dab through the middle of the viewing area right now, getting ready to shift over to the eastern parts of the viewing area, and that will continue to be the case. The cold front is still well to our west. It's coming up through Monroe, back towards Delhi, Louisiana. This line will continue to progress to the east. We're not really expecting these cells to intensify, at least the way it looks right now. We're expecting the main activity to be along this line, which continues off to the east. And there are cells developing off to the east of that line, which could impact areas outside of our viewing area in eastern parts of Mississippi as the afternoon progresses. So a lot going on. Let's take it up to Adam for an update up there with that cell. I wouldn't be surprised if that tornado warning came down soon.
That's right, David. Yeah, just quickly, though, want to update you on the watches that we have. We have a new tornado watch in effect for areas to the east, across East Mississippi. So the original tornado watch that does include the metro area is still in effect until 6 o'clock. But then we have areas like Smith County and to the east, we have a new tornado watch in effect until 8 o'clock. So again, the continuation of this watch to the east, again, not surprising at all. Again, that's where the best ingredients are going to be, and transitioning to the eastern part of the state through the afternoon. Let's switch over to the analysis part, and again, we'll go back up there to that Madison County storm, and you see that right there. You noticed when we last were with you, we saw the kind of strong colors there on the rotation tracker. Now that it's come down and it's looking like more of a straight line, again, like David was saying, this would be a signal that the storm is trying to gust out. But again, these storms can cycle back up. So that is something that we're going to be watching. But again, looking very messy on the radar presentation. Again, the rotation, if we had to put it somewhere, would be probably right on the Madison-Leake County border there to the east of Camden, near the St. Anne area. Thomastown sits right here in the northwest part of Leake County. We're drawing a track out on that, right around 50, 55 miles per hour. And yeah, Kosciuszko and Ethel would be up next in about 20 or 30 minutes if this can hold together. Again, it's something that will remain to be seen, but there's a look right now at some of the other areas. We're talking the Knox area, Dodds, East Macedonia, Center, these areas right in here. Again, yeah, let's pull up some of the attributes on that storm, because these storms are moving. They're booking at about 50 to 60 miles an hour. Look at that, northeast at 64 miles per hour. These storms are traveling as fast as a car does down the road, but again, they don't have to stop for lights or anything like that. They just keep on zooming through. And we do have some pretty good shear in the storm, up to about 70 miles an hour, and our Barron tornado index is at a 4.2. Anytime that number's about a 4 or higher, we do look at the possibility of a tornado trying to spin up right there. So again, that's a look at some of the attributes on the storm, and that's a look at some of the arrival times. So if you're looking up into Attala County, watching the storm, probably I'd say right around 20, 25 minutes, this would be moving up into parts of Attala County. Let's go down south, Christopher. Just want to examine some storms down here into Rankin County. Let's go down here to this storm near the Florence area. Again, we're trying to look for characteristics of storms trying to rotate, trying to get a kidney bean shape, and right now we don't see much of anything. Again, very heavy rain though, extending from near the Whitfield area down that State Road 469, Monterey, the Florence area, down towards the King and the Clear Branch area. Not seeing much of anything that is concerning. Heavy rain, yes. Thunder and lightning, yes. But anything severe, not at this time. Again, the line is progressing to the east like that. So if you're watching us from Star, if you're watching us from Piney Woods, if you're watching us from the Rock Hill area, this is Highway 18 that runs from Brandon all the way down to Puckett. These areas here in the south east part of Rankin County, you're going to get on the heavy rain here pretty soon. But right now, it's probably raining to beat the band there in Brandon, downtown Brandon, seeing some very heavy rain right now. And let's kind of zoom out and show kind of towards the Pine Belt area. Just kind of want to see what's going on down there. Again, we're looking for little bitty cells. You see these right here, they're trying to rotate, they're trying to form, but they're struggling down here. The atmosphere in this part of Mississippi is not as conducive for rotating thunderstorms and tornadoes, but you see them trying to form, which indicates that we still have some pretty high winds there at cloud level. But again, you got to have all the ingredients there together to come at the right time for these storms to really kind of take off, and we're just not seeing that. But like David said, as these move more to the north, more up toward the Meridian area, we're going to see the storms increase, because that's where the best dynamics are, the best wind energy is up there in the northeast part of the state. So there's a look right now, that line, the main line that we're concerned about, now coming through the Jackson metro area. Looking at these back here, they're really not trying to do much of anything. We do have thunder and lightning with them, but I think this is going to be the main game. This and to the east is going to be where the biggest threat of tornadoes and damaging winds would be. David.
This is the immediate Jackson metro area. We still have those downpours around. I just looked at my weather station. I had about 0.2 of an inch so far. Of course, a lot of places, this is just going to be a quick downpour. It's not going to last long. And you look back to the west, we have sporadic showers coming in, so the rain not over, but it's just not going to rain long. Now, this cell continues to have a tornado warning on it. It'll be exiting Madison County here before too much longer and be moving over into the northwest parts of Leake County. So we're keeping an eye on that. It was on kind of the downturn. It looked like straight line winds, and we'll see if it can intensify further. Down in southern Rankin County, down towards Florence, these cells, heavy rain, downpours, they're non-severe at this time, which is good news as far as the viewing area goes. Well, let's hope these cells that are trying to form on the east part of the state don't do much as the afternoon does progress. Boy, just don't need any kind of big weather associated with those. All right, here, let's get back up here into northern Madison County, take a look at that storm as it is moving off to the east right now. Stop that and get a little bit closer right into there. The storm, as I said, will be out of Madison County here very, very shortly, and it is to the west of Carthage, out Conway, heavy rain, St. Anne, and down towards Raytown right now. And get the velocity up there. See what the winds are looking like on that storm right now. And you can see in the St. Anne community, straight line winds. We're not seeing a couplet or rotation associated with that right now. This tornado warning that is in effect does continue on until 2:30. So we've been talking about that, so that tornado warning is canceled right now. Great news there. So that leaves us, I believe, get a wide view here. That'll get canceled. There's still a little bit of a severe thunderstorm warning till 2:30. They may let that ride, but no other threats of a tornado warning at this time, as that tornado warning is canceled. So we're going to keep watching this weather as it moves into and through the viewing area. Everything's shifting off to the east now. Looks like some of the heavier rain is already on the east side of the metro area, so that continues to make really quick progress off to the east. We'll watch the cells off to the west. I don't think they're going to give us too much trouble. Looks like East Mississippi, Northeast Mississippi have the chance of the strongest storm. So keep it here, or our weather app, all that. We'll keep you updated through the course of the afternoon, and you know if things tick back up, we'll be back on the air.